Hello my lovies and welcome to Divination Death Witch. I'm Rain and today's episode is another Witches of Reddit. Now this one's not a long involved story. That's usually what I like to do for these Witches of Reddit videos. I typically like something that is a bit meatier in the Reddit post. However, I saw this one this morning. It is from 9 months ago. It's from the pastLife subreddit, from user Familiar Software 11. Now, this post is very short. They're basically asking a question, but I thought it would be a good opportunity to discuss a few different aspects of doing past life work. And if you've followed me for a bit, you know that I am a huge proponent of doing past life work, whether you believe in reincarnation or not. So this post is called Seeking Recommendations for Past Life Regression Therapy. Hi everyone, I'm interested in exploring past life regression therapy and would love to hear your recommendations for experienced practitioners or methods. If you've had any personal experience or can suggest someone reputable, I'd greatly appreciate it. Like I said, very short and to the point for this OP to ask their question. Now, the first thing I want to say is there is a difference between past life regression therapy and past life regression and past life work. So what OP is asking for, whether they know it or not, is for a licensed therapist who will use past life regression as part of their actual clinical mental behavioral health therapy session. I don't think that that's actually what the OP means, but that is what the OP is asking for. And it's important that we understand that there's a huge difference between past life regression therapy, past life regression, and past life work. One of those requires a licensed mental health practitioner. Now, while I do have a background in mental behavioral health as a MHW, I am not licensed to do counseling or therapy. So when I do past life work, I can do past life regression with clients, and I can also do past life work with clients. So as I've mentioned, this type of therapy does require a licensed professional. So we're not going to go too in-depth for that because that's usually sort of the least frequently used option when it comes to exploring past lives. For those who aren't familiar with me, let me very quickly go over the fact that I do approach past life work or regression from a more clinical psychology standpoint, if you will. I do, from on a spiritual level, 100% believe in reincarnation. But from a clinical perspective, past life work or regression can help us work on issues in our current life or our only life if we see it that way. The reason why it works is our brains are wired to create a story. If we don't have all the pieces, our brain tends to fill it in. Our brain likes to narrate a story. So when we have something coming up that we're not dealing with on a conscious level or facing directly or trying to avoid, it can come up as a past life. Our brain will create this story about this past life that confronts whatever issue it is that we are trying to avoid or suppress or is buried in our subconscious or whatever the case may be. So this is a safe way that our mind, our brains have created for us to engage with this story and this topic with a little bit of safety and distance in order to still begin to do the work without being overwhelmed or fear causing us to be avoidant or things like that. So while I do 100% believe that these past lives are real, I also do take that clinical perspective of sometimes it is just a story that our mind, our brain has created in order to help us deal with things in our current life. Now, there are a myriad of ways that you can work with your past lives. Some of them do actually require you to work with some sort of practitioner, and some of them you can explore 100% on your own if that's your choice. There isn't one right or wrong way, and you may choose to use several different methods for accessing and working with your past lives. Let's go over a couple of ways that you can access and work with your past lives on your own. You can do so through dream work. So if you do a lot of dream work, you just set that intention and suggestion before you go to sleep and then record your dreams when you wake up. And that will either give you vivid memories of your past life or it will give you pieces of your past life. Meditation is another way that you can access past life information. You can do this just with your own intention and just leading yourself through the meditation if you are of a level of meditation practitioner that you can do that, or you can find guided meditations for free and for pay that will guide you through the process and help you explore and uncover details of past lives. Now, automatic writing is not something that I do. I am very on the fence about automatic writing. I think it depends on how you do it as to whether or not it is safe. So if you're interested in automatic writing, do a lot of research and proceed with caution. But I do know some people who have explored their past lives through automatic writing. It's not something that I am 100% against. I just think that you need to do a lot of research and be very cautious in how you conduct your automatic writing sessions. You can also use pendulums to uncover details of your past lives. Now, this for me is a little tedious because you have to ask very specific questions. You have to have charts or a system for getting the specific answers that you want. And so if you really want to dive into all the details of a past life, it can be very tedious because you really do need more than just yes/no questions. You really do need some sort of chart or some sort of pendulum board that is designed for doing past life work. In my humble opinion, yes, you could sit there and ask yes/no questions all day long. But again, I find this rather tedious. That could just be me. If you enjoy that, if you're game to just sit there for a few hours asking yes/no questions, or if you're game to have some different pendulum boards or charts that you can use in order to get the answers about your past lives, then by all means go for it. That is a method you can use on your own. Something a little more advanced that can be done either on your own or by a practitioner is a past life reading through tarot cards. Now, I use tarot and oracle cards to do past life readings all the time. I love it. It's one of my favorite types of cartomancy readings to do. If you want to take the time to work out a system for yourself or learn someone's system as to how to conduct those types of readings for yourself, by all means, you 100% can do that for yourself. But if you don't want to, or you don't have access to the type of decks you would like to use for that, you can work with some sort of professional to get that kind of reading. I do offer past life readings. Another thing that could be on your own or you could seek out a professional for is doing work with the Akashic records to get details from your past lives. If you are trained in Akashic record work and astral travel and things like that, you could absolutely 100% do this on your own, or you could find someone who can facilitate Akashic record work for you. Sometimes they will lead you through the Akashic records, and so you're actually doing the work, they're just facilitating. And you can also find practitioners who will do the Akashic reading for you. They go in, they find the information, and then they deliver it to you as a reading. Now let's start talking about different ways that you can learn about, access past life information that require you to work with or see a practitioner to do the work for you. There are some psychics who specialize in past lives. They don't necessarily go through the Akashic records, but through their psychic abilities, they access your past life information and deliver a reading to you. Another way that you can access past life information is through specific Reiki sessions that are designed to lead you to past life information and allow you to explore and uncover that. That is something that I have been on the receiving end of, and I have facilitated those as well because I am a Usui Reiki master teacher. that is a way, though, even though a Reiki can give themselves Reiki, I personally don't find it feasible for me to do that kind of session on myself to bring out the information. So if you are Reiki, you can by all means try doing it for yourself. But my personal experience has been I need another Reiki master to facilitate that kind of session for me personally. That doesn't mean that that will always be the case for everyone, but that's just been my personal experience. But you can, through Reiki sessions that are specifically for exploring past lives, uncover information, details, and perhaps even have memories come up of past lives through that session. And then the last way I'm going to talk about today is through hypnosis. Now, the OP asked about past life regression therapy. You can do hypnosis as part of past life regression therapy with a licensed mental health provider who is also trained and certified in hypnosis. However, you do not have to be a licensed mental health professional to be certified in hypnosis. So if you're going to go the hypnosis route, make sure you know what your provider is actually certified in or licensed in. Are they trained in hypnosis and certified in hypnosis only, or are they certified and trained in hypnosis and also a licensed mental health professional? While I do have that mental health background, again, I am not licensed to do counseling or therapy. However, I am certified in hypnosis, so I can do past life regression through hypnosis, but it is not considered therapy. Yes, self-hypnosis is a thing, and you can try it for this. It is not my personal preference. I don't feel like it gets the best results. I feel like working live one-on-one with someone certified in hypnosis is the best option here, or the most ideal option. You absolutely 100% could try self-hypnosis, which basically is just getting a recording or creating your own recording if you're certified in hypnosis that then you play and go through on your own in your own time. But I really recommend, if you're going to go the hypnosis route, working with someone live. Now, it could be over a video call or a phone call, but live one-on-one, I feel, is the best option for going the hypnosis route. If you are going to look for a practitioner to work with, whether you're going to have them facilitate the past life work for you, or do a reading for you, or they're going to do the hypnosis for you, or what have you, make sure that you are doing your due diligence on that practitioner first. Make sure that you read their website. If they have reviews, make sure that you're reading the reviews. Make sure that you are looking if they have anything posted as to their philosophies, their ethics, and all of that on any of these types of workings, what they are. Don't be afraid to ask them questions. Ask them how long they've been doing this. Ask them, what other forms of past life work they do, what their personal experiences have been with past life work, things like that. Obviously, they're not going to tell you super duper personal details, but if a client or a potential client was to ask me about past life experiences of my own, I have some that I am definitely comfortable sharing with potential clients, just to let them know that, yes, this is work that I do myself as well as for other people. And so if you're doing this kind of work, you should be comfortable with potential clients asking you questions about past lives and how you do the workings and what your personal experiences are, what the client can expect from the session, and all of that. Now, if you are opting for past life regression therapy, you do want to make sure that the practitioner you're going to does have the credentials to do that. Chances are, if you are going that route, you are going to be seeing somebody who is part of a mental health practice, which means that the practice should have vetted them and verified their credentials before they even employed them, so you're pretty safe there. If someone is doing this on a more of a freelance basis or a private practice, you may just want to check their credentials before you go ahead with the session. So those are just my quick 2 cents on different ways of accessing past life information. Let me know if you have any questions on past lives or different types of past life work or past life regression. Past life regression is different than past life work in the fact of past life regression actually takes you into the past life, whereas past life work, you are accessing that information through other means. You're not directly experiencing the memory of it. But I am happy to answer your questions. And as always, if you'd like to book a session with me, past life sessions or any other type of session, then you can do so through my website. You can also find my Discord in my link tree. You can connect with me on Discord as well. If you would like to support the channel, there is always the option to donate a coffee. The link is down in the description box below. Never expected, but always greatly appreciated. And until I see you again, my lovelies, blessings to you wherever your journey finds you.